Yeah, I love Naruto, and a lot of the I don't know story elements and shit like that. But one of the things I can't stand the most actually is this notion that the next generation is always gonna surpass the next one, or the next generation is always gonna surpass the last one. To put it simple, I think Kakashi's generation is stronger than Naruto's. I think Madara's generation is stronger than Naruto's. But outside of that, that could just be an old head take. I could just be getting old and being like, you know what? Fuck these new niggas. Get off of my lawn and shit. But even staying just in the, leaving the realm of Naruto, etc., I believe in the notion that, a harsher world or hard times bring on, stronger fighters or the strongest in your fighters. And I'll show this comment for example, right? This is a random comment from a TikTok edit, but regardless, it's what sparked this conversation in my head anyway. Can your potential be stunted by the lack of competition around you? We all know Gojo is the strongest, and he's been the strongest since I don't know when, straight out the vagina. Is he as strong as he is because his generation is weak, or is he as strong as he is because that's how strong he would be no matter what? Because I do feel like JJK is one of the series where the current timeline or the current era or whatever, that's one of the shows where it's notably oh yeah, niggas used to be way stronger. You're lucky that you're living now, because back in the day, this shit was ruthless. That's one of the only times I've heard of the current generation or the current times being, soft, for example, to begin the series off. But also in a series like Naruto, or I guess more so I would say Boruto, it's very much more so, you two made a kid together. That means that your kid automatically, the floor of your child should be you, for Sai and Ino's kid, for example, the floor of that little motherfucker should just be rainbow animals, I guess. That sounds like trash, but you know what I mean? In the Naruto world, I guess, in the Naruto world, if your kid sucks, you truly married a nobody. You truly had kid with a bum ass motherfucker. Cause that's just not how they're rocking in these other shows. Unsung hero in this conversation is the fact that the newer generations always are trying to mix breeds, and breeds is crazy. These are people, but they're always trying to mix some shit up and fuck with the traditions and da da da. And I'm gonna give it a bean. Sometimes them old heads be mean as hell. Sometimes they be on some crazy, just narcissistic, I don't even know, just, the same time, hey, there ain't been no issues while them niggas been in charge. But then as soon as motherfuckers come around trying to mix clans and shit and do all type of inhonorable shit, then all of a sudden now we got aliens and shit. Now we got, now we got rogues, now we got issues. Hey, but when we kept them niggas in check, there was minimal issues. It's rare to see older generation characters rely on hacks or, rely on their crazy one power that they have. They're usually, I feel a lot more rounded than our main heroes, our main guys. I don't know. I feel the new generation has a fraction of the power that the old generation does, even when I feel they've matured and they're at a similar level we've seen the old niggas at. I feel they're still behind when it comes to just move variation and shit they can do in battle at that very moment. I feel they rely a lot more on inner beast and family attacks and whatever. I feel the old generation was a lot more, damn, this sounds crazy, I sound like a real old head. I just feel like they're a lot more like get it out the mud. Just you see, you've heard these niggas. Oh, I've trained for 20 days and 45 nights. How the fuck does that work? I don't know, but nigga, he did it. And, you know, our guy gets it in the next 2 days. It just felt like we had more formidable people on our side as we're watching the older generations. And at the same time, we also don't feel unbeatable. You know what I mean? Because that's also a thing in, you know, the newer generation of anime or whatever. It's just that I feel like no matter how big they try to make the threat and how grandiose they try to make the threat, it still just feels very beatable. And you know, back then, sometimes it was like, hey, I'm finna hang it up, bro. I don't know if I can even keep watching this shit. We getting cooked. Like, obviously, we have our world beaters, you know, in anything. Gojo, Sukuna, Madara, Hashirama, Naruto, Sasuke, Goku, Vegeta. Like, you know, every series has their world beaters. Their guys that are like, all right, you know, this main event, you know, this, all right, you know, whatever you done so far, you know, bad guy number 3. Good shit. You had a good run. Good night. You know, that's when it's time to hang it up. You know, you want the side characters to feel like threats, or the other villains to feel like threats and to feel like. But I guess to leave off with a good point for the new generation is that the threats are usually crazier for the new generation. You know, they're fighting aliens, they're fighting niggas who can copy techniques, who can suck you up. Pause. But who can suck up your moves, you know what I mean? Like, I ain't gonna lie, they do gotta figure out some new shit, cause that old shit ain't working no more. I don't think, but it's tough, cause the old niggas, they're the basis, they're the foundation, you know. They are they're the ground that the new gen is standing on when it comes to fighting and all the shit that they know and have learned. But at the same time, it's like, hey, them new niggas be spazzing too sometimes.